Alright, so today I'm going to be making some nightly armor, or at least that was the original plan. So I'm going to grab my Pokeball, or I have grabbed my Pokeball. I'm going to put it in my monster spawner, get the helmet crab one, toss that in there, flip the switch, and then I spent a few seconds looking over my other Pokeballs, see if I want to use anything else, and head back and check on the progress, which is not going as planned. My grinders are not grinding the helmet crabs. So, go and turn that off, and go check the grinders to make sure that they've got power and everything, and the idle timer is going down, everything's working, just the crabs are not being counted as something the grinder can grind. It might be because they're from Twilight Forest. I'm not sure. So, to get rid of them, I'm going to use one of these ball and chain goblins. Throw that in there. And turn that on. And what happens with the ball and chain goblins is they run around and they just swing in a circle and they hit anything in the vicinity. So the idea is they go in there, kill off all the crabs, kill off each other, mostly, and my little obsidian pipe at the front of this contraption picks up all the loot and shifts it into my barrels. So, go and check to make sure they're actually hitting things, and they are, and watch the carnage. So that I just turned off. I turned off the lights so that the actual mob spawners will spawn a couple of skeletons and a couple of zombies. It's just to get a little essence and maybe see if the skeletons will actually hit anything. So there I'm just playing with my power armor, turning everything on and off, make sure it's on the settings that I want it to be on. And you can see on the right side of the screen, or you could, the loot, the armor shards going through the pipes there. So that's good. So everything's working the way I expect it to. And you can see the numbers dwindling in the grinding area. So that went well. That went exactly how I planned it. So let's try something different. Obviously the helmet crabs didn't work, so maybe the upper and lower goblins? Since I know that they drop armor shards as well. We'll give those guys a try. And if the grinders work on them, then awesome, that's exactly what I want. And if not, I'll send in the ball and chain goblins again, because that was super effective. So again, turning on the auto spawner there, and coming out to watch the progress. There they go. Now this is just the upper half. Interestingly, these mobs are like 2-in-1 kind of guys. There's an upper and a lower half when you see them spawn naturally in the wilderness. They're in Twilight Forest. So we got a few in there. Turn that off. Check the grinding. No grinding. So that sucks. So back to the ball and chain goblin. And also the lower knights. We'll see if those guys get ground. And the reason I'm flying backwards is those guys managed to tap me with the spear. So we'll turn that one on. We'll get this one prepped. We'll turn that on. And there are a lot of guys in there now. So let's go turn everything off and wait for things to calm down. Because it's kind of ridiculous in there. Giant mosh pit. Nothing is getting ground. So my grinding room is super ineffective. Alright, things cleared out quite a bit after the ball and chain goblins. You see some of the armor shards there. Go ahead and turn on the goblins again and see what happens, the ball and chain ones. And oh my goodness, what just happened? Turn it off, quick, quick, turn it off. So I shut it down, I ripped the Pokeball out. I have no idea how this happened. There's like a million of those little things in there. And they're even spawning on top, which I didn't think was possible because there's a power cable that runs up there. I didn't know there was room for those guys to spawn. So, yeah. I had a feeling that they were going to get cleared out by the ball and chain goblins. But I think what actually happened was somehow the ball and chain goblins interacting with the lower knight goblins, or the lower knights, caused some weird chain reaction. So, I'm going to go handle things myself. First, I'm going to get my power fist ready in case I need to like start launching explosions. But, so we'll pop out this little back area and stabby, 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 and I will just kill all the things until all the things are killed. They do make some funny noises. And this is gonna take forever. Now the water is supposed to be pushing them towards the grinders, and it kind of is, but there are so many of them that it's not working quite as well as it should. So I just kind of stand here pretty much forever and stab at those things. And when I backed up, I can't remember what I was going to do, but I backed up and they started getting out. So of course I freak out, breaking my own redstone, trying to kill all the things. I'm like the worst first-person shooter person ever. As you can see, missing things at point blank with my melee weapon. Breaking more redstone. Killing all the things. Trying to kill all the things. And they keep getting out. So, what I'm going to do is replace the blocks. Like, I should have never taken that one out in the first place, that bottom one. So, I'm going to continue to kill all the things, and my little block is replaced. And I should have done this a while ago, actually pull out the Pokeball. I think this was me just testing and verifying exactly like if it was the little ball and chain goblin causing the problem, and it appears to be the case because as soon as he dropped down in there, a whole nother explosion of dudes everywhere. So thankfully I left that block in place in the back so they can't get out this way. Part of the problem I'm having right now is my frame rate has dropped to like 2. So it's kind of tough to move around. But I've got everything turned off. They're not spawning anymore. And I'm moving in for the kill. Actually, I'm trying to place that second block there just to be sure they can't get out. And me, just what looks like me standing here is me actually clicking, and the frame rate was just so low that it never actually placed the block. And so finally, I got at it from a different angle and just spam clicked. Got it taken care of. I'm checking on my armor shards to make sure those are going in, and they are. And it's a mess in there, as you can see.
Something has gone horribly wrong.
That's me talking to my girlfriend.
So, playing with the monster spawner.
Yeah.
Something didn't go exactly like I expected.
Alright, so my best plan ever is to break open this wall again and stabby stab until everything is dead. And I did this for what seemed like forever. And it felt like I was getting nowhere. So I pull out the Reaper, which is a scythe, and it hits things in a 3x3 area, so it's AoE, and it sets them on fire, which isn't really effective because they're in water, but you know, it looks cool. Now we're getting somewhere. All the little experience bubbles trying to make their way to me. I can't even see anything. Thankfully, I know things are dying in hordes because all the little bubbles tell me so.
It's in my screen.
It's kind of ridiculous. So just keep clicking until I don't hear anything
Not
getting
sure
hit
what
anymore.
I did. It will as soon as the server catches up.
Nothing but fun. So, at the very least, I know that there's far fewer of those bad guys in there now than there were when I started this click fest. And the XP can't actually get to me. I think that's part of the reason why it's like all constantly on my screen and not actually going anywhere. If you watch my experience bar, it's not actually going up, so they're not actually getting to me. And I think that's because that block is in the way at the bottom there. So I can still hit some of the guys, and I hit a couple of them, but there's obviously not very many left. It's getting to be about time to just bust in there. No, really. Bust in there. There we go. I was trying not to break extra blocks, and you'll see a little later on that I failed. I did actually break the block beyond that one. But now, all the XP bubbles can get to me. You can see my experience bar rising dramatically. I started at level 41, which is up there, and it takes a lot of XP to go up from that point. And so already at level 44. Now we get a better idea of what's going on in here. All these little guys running around, getting clubbed by the scythe. You can just see them, like as I hit one, groups of them take damage. You can see them bouncing around. And finally we're down to a manageable level. Tons of XP. Only 5 of these little dudes left. And it's kind of humorous because I get it down to like 1 or 2 guys left, and I just can't seem to catch them. It's as if instead of a scythe or a sword, I need a shotgun. And there's that block, you can see it missing there in front of my little makeshift door. I'm gonna check the pipe and everything, and we're all done.